oh boy, another day, another PlayStation Store sale. I really wasn't expecting another sale so quickly, given the fact that we just had the end of the holiday sale, and we had the under $20 sale. Honestly, Sony is making this a little bit ridiculous with how many sales they're running, but hey, great deals are great deals, so I wanted to go over them. They've got the totally digital sale running right now, and they quietly have a pretty good deal of the week running as well, so I'll go over both of those. To make mention of it quick, the deal of the week is Need for Speed Heat and the Need for Speed Heat Deluxe Edition. The base game is 40% off for $35.99, while the Need for Speed Heat Deluxe Edition is 40% off for $41.99. The NFS Heat, I thought, was a pretty good little game. If you want an arcade racer, it's not at the level of the best arcade racers ever, but given that Need for Speed has been kind of on a downhill slide for a little bit, I thought NFS Heat was a step in the right direction. $36 still might be a little bit expensive. I imagine at some point it will be added to EA Access probably later this year. So if you wait a little bit longer, it will end up paying dividends, but nonetheless, that for 36 bucks is pretty good. Okay, so the major sale we have running right now is the totally digital sale. This sale is massive with a lot of games that are a little bit lower key, more so downloadable titles, however, really good deals and very cheap games. This sale might even be better than the under $20 sale, all things considered, given that some of these games are really good and they're coming at you at a great price. So first of all, A Way Out is 40% off for $18. Now, this is a part of EA Access. However, if you got it through EA Access, both you and the person you're playing with have to have EA Access. If you buy the game itself, you get a token for an invite and you guys can play together with only one person owning the game, so that's pretty cool. Really good story-driven title with a lot of twists and turns, so $18 for that, I would say, is rather good. Dead Cells and the Rise of the Giant Avatar, 30% off, $17.49. Dead Cells really does hold up in price, so if you want to get that a little bit cheaper, now wouldn't be a bad time. 30% off, $17.49, I would say, is a rather good buy. A lot of games are going through that Metroidvania style right now, and I thought Dead Cells was one that did that style rather well. $17.50 for it, again, a pretty good buy there. Don't Starve Together Console Edition is down to $7.49, another very good downloadable title. Don't Starve has been around for a very long time, but if you want to go back and check that out once again, that is a really good deal at $7.50. Guacamelee 2 might be one of the best deals in this entire sale, also of that Metroidvania style. However, unlike Dead Cells, it's coming at you much cheaper, 75% off for $4.99, which I do believe is the cheapest this game has been. This is just such a charming Metroidvania title, doesn't take itself all too seriously. You play as a luchador who's out of retirement for a stunning Metroidvania-style adventure. You've got a huge handcrafted world inspired by Mexican culture and folklore filled with sassy villains and weirdos. You'll learn bone-crushing wrestling moves to fight off skeletal hordes. You've got drop-in 4-player local co-op for you and your best amigos as well. So a great title there. $4.99 is an awesome buy. Hyper Light Drifter, 60% off for $7.99. That is another really good deal. Very good art style on that one. Think something like Legend of Zelda, and I would put it at the quality level of a lot of the Zelda games. It's just a very well-presented title. A little bit on the challenging side, so do keep that in mind, but overall a really good title that I would strongly recommend, especially at this price. Indivisible, which is a really good game, although a little bit pricey, 33% off. Its base price is $39.99. It is down to $26.79. Another title with a very slick art style. It's an action RPG platformer, stunning hand-drawn art and animation combined with real-time, unique combat mechanics. Immerse yourself in a fantastical world with dozens of playable characters, a rich storytelling experience, gameplay that's easy to learn but difficult to master, and the trademark razor-sharp quality that Lab Zero Games is known for. Lab Zero Games does a lot of good stuff, and Indivisible is right up there. $26.79 might be a little bit high of a price point, but all things considered, given that it's a relatively recent release, I believe, as well. Yeah, October of 2019. You can't expect the deepest discounts in the world, and for $26.79, I think it's an okay buy right now. Limbo and Inside Bundle, this is another one of the best deals available as a part of this sale. 70% off for $8.99. I think everybody and their mother has played Limbo at this point. Inside is a game that some people did miss out on, given the fact that it did release as an Xbox One and PC exclusive for a while, and then it made the transition to PlayStation 4 a little bit after. Kind of came out on PS4 with little fanfare, but critically the game was received incredibly well. It's similar to Limbo in the sense that it is a dark and atmospheric platformer, and Limbo, of course, if you've never played that, great reason to play Limbo. That's a phenomenal game. Or if you just want to go back and play Limbo on the PS4, $8.99 for Inside and Limbo is a great deal. You've got Little Nightmares Complete Edition, another very dark platformer, $7.49 for that, I would say is rather good. A Bandai Namco published game, and I thought that was rather good. Return of the Obra Dinn, another very, very dark game. We're just going off on these. Return of the Obra Dinn has a very unique art style, and that's probably one of the most captivating features of the game. $14.99, still a little bit pricey, and while it did come out on PC a while ago, the PlayStation 4 version only came out, so this is a relatively recent release as well. Sayonara Wild Hearts, another game that's a relatively recent release, 25% off for $9.74. Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes Complete Edition, 40% off, $24. That game has some charming elements, however, it's not at the quality level of a $24 purchase. I would probably say wait a little bit longer for it to get a little bit cheaper. But if you like the aesthetic of No More Heroes and all that stuff, Travis Strikes Again isn't a bad buy. Stardew Valley, 20% off for $11.99. Another game I'd like to see a little bit cheaper, but Stardew Valley has content for days. You can play this game for hundreds of hours, and they've done a really good job keeping this updated, keeping it fresh, adding new content, all that good stuff. $12 for it is a really good buy. The Forest, 40% off for $11.99. That's a really good buy. Undertale is 15% off for $12.74. Now, that's a little bit interesting. It seems like this game has quietly gone up in price if that $12.74 price point becomes a regular thing, because Undertale is a little bit older of a game. It came out on PS4 back in 2017, PC earlier than that, I think 2015. And I feel like it's been cheaper than $12.74, but nonetheless a phenomenal game, and one game that is absolutely worth your time and money, so $12.74 for that is a really good buy. Unravel 2, 65% off for $6.99. That, I believe, is in EA Access as well, so if you want to go that route, not a bad buy, but if you want to buy it to own, $6.99 for it is pretty good. Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, $23.44. Dark Souls 3 DLC is on sale. You've got the Persona 5 Persona bundle. Moonlighter, 60% off for $7.99. I thought that was a rather interesting title. Maybe not worth that initial $19.99 price point, but at $7.99, a much better buy. My Time at Portia, another game you can sink an obscene amount of time into. That is 50% off for $14.99. Highly, highly recommended if you are a fan of games like Stardew Valley, games like Harvest Moon. My Time at Portia is going to be right up your alley. A pretty interesting concept there as well, with a lot of variety in its gameplay, so really good stuff there. Arise, A Simple Story. This is one of the most underrated games of 2019. $15.99 for that, so that's 20% off. Would like to see it a little bit cheaper, but given that it's only like a month and a half old at this point, that's not a bad buy either. Flower on PlayStation 4 is 25% off, so not a steep discount on that, but that's a game that goes for a relatively cheap price point from the get-go. 25% off for $5.24. Pretty decent. Extinction Deluxe Edition. I remember talking about this game way back in 2018, and I noted that I thought it was going to go be pretty cheap pretty quickly. Obviously, it's been almost 2 years since it came out, but it's 85% off for $5.99. Game wasn't that great. Had an interesting concept that a lot of people compared to like Attack on Titan and fighting, you know, these big monsters and whatnot. Didn't really nail that concept that well, but hey, for $5.99, it's not the worst buy in the world. 1111 Memories Retold is 75% off for $7.49. That's a pretty good buy. Very interesting game there. 10 Second Ninja X, 50% off for $4.99. Not a bad buy there. Agony is 75% off for $4.99, so that's pretty good, although Agony isn't the best game in the world, but it's a rather interesting horror title that got a lot of attention when it came out, so if you want to check it out on the cheap, not a horrible buy. Armello, 50% off for $9.99. That's a really good deal. Here's one of the best buys as a part of this sale. Bastion is 75% off for $3.74. Obviously, this game is done by Supergiant Games. Their first title, a phenomenal game, one of the most iconic downloadable titles of all time. One of those games that when it came out on the 360 showed us that, hey, downloadable titles can be on the level of some major big budget releases, and Bastion has aged so well from a narrative standpoint, art style standpoint, gameplay standpoint. Cannot say enough good things about Bastion. It's come out on so many platforms. It's on phones. It's on like everything. If you want to revisit the game, or for whatever reason you never checked out the game, on PS4 for $3.74, that is a terrific buy and well worth your money. I do see Chasm, I believe that's 35% off, and that is available for $12.99. Still a little bit pricey, has some interesting elements there, but not a perfect game. Child of Light is 70% off for $4.49. That is a really good buy, one of Ubisoft's best game, and people were hounding Ubisoft at the start of this generation to make more unique games instead of relying on the Assassin's Assassin's Creeds of the world, and Child of Light was one of those games that was really good. Unfortunately, not a lot of people checked it out, but definitely would give that a recommendation. Some other deals are available, but I do believe I went over the marquee ones. Genesis Alpha 1 is $11.99. That's not a bad deal given that it's only like a year old at this point. The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 2 is $5.99. Inside Standalone is $7.99, so you can get Inside and Limbo for $8.99, just $1 more. That's probably the route you want to go. Invisible Ink, that's a really cool tactics strategy game. Not perfect, but for $4.99, not a bad buy. And I'll do another video going over this sale more in depth and looking at some of the best deals, especially at price points. But under $5, I can already see games like Guacamelee 2 being really good buys. Bastion, of course, is a phenomenal buy. Just saw Life is Strange, that's $3.99. Little Nightmares, the base game, is $4.99. So a lot of good stuff is being discounted right now, and a lot of stuff I would highly recommend. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos on this sale very soon. Goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.